What's going on?
What is today?
Huh?
What?
What day is it?
What day is it?
Yo,
In the
you just
beginning,
totally found it out.
I know, and it's in the beginning of the video. It's like I'm always trying to share it, and
No, you just like you did what? Who what?
okay, let me share it from your phone because you
Got it.
you
You just focus on you.
What day is it?
It's Hump Day with the Harts.
Yes. So introduce us for people that don't know us.
For those of you guys,
give me the phone.
Hey, see y'all. Just. Oh, okay.
Go ahead,
Thank
talk.
you. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Tony. This is my bossy ass wife, Shawnee.
Like, I am bossy.
Yeah, that's your problem. See how she just take my cell phone?
Because she was taking too long doing
It's not about that. It's my phone. I get to go at the pace that I want to go.
Let's get this party started.
Let's get it started.
I wanna go to bed.
Go to bed.
Yes, I'm sleepy.
She wants the D. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I do not. I don't want D adjacent. I don't want nothing. I just want to go to sleep. So, but who are we? What do we do?
I'm Tony. Again, this is my bossy ass wife, Shawnee, and we're the Harts. We are the owners of Hart's Desires Erotic Boutiques. We have one located in Washington, D.C., in the Adams Morgan neighborhood, and we have one located in the city of Suitland, which is in Prince George's County.
Is it a city?
Maryland.
You always say the city. How do you know it's a city?
Is Suitland, because I looked it up. And we live.
I don't think you looked it up.
Okay, when you write your address, because we live in the city of Suitland as well. So when you write your address, it asks you for state and city.
Right. But it still doesn't have to be like a city. It could be like a town.
Sorry, you guys. She went to a public school, so you know.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, so this is Hump Day with the Harts. We come live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. to talk about sex, relationships, sex toys, a whole bunch of different things. Whatever I think about.
I know.
We're back in our studio. Last week we were in the bedroom showing some handcuff sex positions. If you missed it, you could check it out, especially on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page and you can see the show
recent videos. Yep.
Yeah, the most recent videos. But tonight we are talking about intimacy secrets about men. Men are tricky when it comes to intimacy.
I wouldn't know.
You don't think y'all are tricky?
No, honestly, if for those of you who have to deal with a man, you have to look. You have to look at a lumpy piece of coal as if it was a diamond before the pressure.
What?
We men, we're a lumpy piece of coal, and we can handle a ton of pressure, but we never turn into the diamond. That's us. Yeah.
Y'all follow that? I don't get that at all. Anyway.
Exactly. Because men are from Venus and women are from Mars, or whatever that book saying is. Yeah, that's what
okay, so we're going to be talking about things about intimacy. If your partner is a man, identifies as a masculine individual, these things might help you. So one thing that I like to think of is that women, like, we need intimacy for sex. Like, if we're going to get it in, like, I need to feel some emotional connection. I need the intimacy to come before sex. For guys, a lot of time, y'all have sex first and that translate into intimacy. Do you agree with that?
Most times, yes.
Most times,
yes. That's a high percentage of you being correct, yes. High percentage.
And why do you think that is?
I mean, well, because it starts off like basically that attraction. When it gets into the emotional part, the sex, that engagement, that's where we're able to like open up and truly show ourselves.
And shoulder dance?
Yeah.
So, but it you guys respond mostly to physical touch.
Yes, most of us like touch.
Physical touch.
Yes, we like touch. We like for our partners to touch us, to rub on us, to kind of show us. That's our way of being shown affection. You know, that hug, that kiss, that touch. That's how we receive love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I put a post up on Instagram and on Facebook asking my guy friends or followers, what is one intimacy need that you have? And so let me read some of them so we can see if there's a theme.
All right, let's do
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Fellas, let's see if we're pretty much on the same page.
Okay. So we got kissing.
I like to kiss.
Shoulder rubs.
For sure, yes. I like massages.
Quality time.
Sometimes, yes.
Physical touch.
Always.
Back rubs.
For sure.
Acts of affirmation.
Yes.
Affection. I wonder if that's affection. I guess that would it be physical? I didn't ask.
Yeah, well, like physical or verbal, but that's like that kind of affection could fall under the. You already said two of them, like you know, what I'm saying acts, the affirmations, and the like the touch. So like massage and stuff. So
someone wrote down sex, even though sex is not intimacy.
It is a sexual activity.
It's a part of intimacy.
It's a part of it, but you know that's how people show intimacy by having sex with you. So yeah, if we want to engage in sexual activity with you, we want to have sex with you. That means that obviously that's our form of showing intimacy.
Okay,
that's our love, romance, and all that other stuff.
A hug and kiss when they come home from work. Back rubs, working out together, and holding hands in public.
For sure.
So what was it? It was a, and that was just, it was some more, but I didn't write it.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do you think is the overall theme with all of those?
I mean, love languages. I mean, it's just proven that the category of different love languages, that if you focus on your partner's love language, that you'll love your lovers. That's right. Because we're working on not saying partner, but by saying your lover.
But the answer that I was going for is that mostly all of the comments do involve touch.
All of them. Yeah, some form of contact. You're right.
Almost all of them.
Yes.
Okay. So, but think about how men are like socialized. Like you're not socialized to use your words and emotion. You're socialized like to do things through action. Think about like the kids in the elementary school at recess. Did y'all have recess?
Yeah. Yes.
Your bootleg ass school you went to. So think about like at recess. When the little boys, when they like somebody, what did they do?
Oh, they go tap. Yeah, they go touch. They
pull their hair, trip them up, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Because it's still, even at 7, 8 years old, don't know how to be like, hey, I like you.
Hey, we don't know the words.
And sometimes at 40 years old and 50 years old, 30-year-old, y'all still don't have the words. So let's talk about more about intimacy with guys. So one of the reasons why, not to be too sciencey. So if y'all ever heard about this, it's a hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin is like the feel good hormone that gets released in your body. When men are having sex, a lot of the oxytocin gets released. Why are you looking at me crazy?
Oxytocin. Yeah. I'm just thinking that weed, alcohol, and an orgasm. I'm good.
What?
You said something to make you feel good. It makes you feel good.
Not Oxycontin.
Oh.
Oxytocin.
Oh, I thought she was, one of them.
Oh, my God. Not Oxycontin. It's a hormone. It's a hormone that gets released in your body. So when men are having sex, a lot of that hormone is getting released. So that's why, and that hormone is like the bonding hormone. So that's why when y'all have sex with us, it's like, oh, I like you. I want to be close to you.
Just to be close to you, girl.
How you start off on the high part. But this is all of that. The sex and everything builds emotional intimacy in your relationship. So what do you think are some other physical touch type things that men respond to?
Blowjobs. Lots and lots of blowjobs.
That's still sex.
You said touch. Contact. That's contact.
Cuddling.
Oral contact. Don't nobody want to cuddle? No, some dudes like to cuddle. Some dudes like to cuddle. I mean,
I think a lot of guys like to. If you
okay.
like to cuddle, say yes. I like to cuddle.
All right, you might like to cuddle, but are you the big spoon or the little spoon?
So why you can't be the little spoon?
Because you play too much. I can't be a little spoon when because you play. You always try to hump me. Yeah,
like
try to hump me. No.
I grab his head. I hunch him from the back. Little, you should be little spoon.
No.
But like cuddling, PDA, we talk about that. I hate when you try to kiss me in the restaurants. That's horrible.
Why?
I don't know. Kissing in public, kissing in restaurants is tacky.
What? It
is. That's tacky. Nah. I mean, I can hold your hand. You can, feed me some food. I mean, but that's not exactly touching.
What was so you have to realize, like, we grew up thinking that it's Disney's fault. Like, really, Disney. Watch where I can watch where I'm going.
Okay, I'm watching.
Remember the cartoon movie where the two dogs they were sharing the spaghetti, and then all of a sudden they're eating, and all of
what is it called? It was the two doggies.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but when they kiss. So see, it's like now. So food and romance and passion from when we were little kids, we were taught that kissing or something should be over the dinner table.
Is that what you got from that?
I'm telling you, it's in my subconscious.
Okay. Oh, Lady and the Tramp. Yes,
okay, there you go. Look,
yes.
Thank you.
Another thing that's good when it comes to physical touch is being responsive. If your partner is a guy and they try to reach out and touch you, like say we're in the bed cuddling and you reach out and try to grab me, and if I be like,
yeah, that's annoying.
That's annoying. It probably makes you feel bad.
It does.
Like why? Why does it make you feel bad?
Because it's like telling me that you don't want me. You don't want me.
I don't want you how?
At all. Sexual, emotional, just you don't want me around. Like you just don't want me. Like you just throwing me away.
Oh my goodness. Well, one thing you could do to help with that is if your partner is a guy, you can initiate contact, initiate this physical touch so they don't have to guess and be like, okay, let me see if they're going to let me touch them tonight. If you reach out and be like, hey, how are you? You like your chest rubbed.
I know. I don't know why you're doing this all on a live video and everything.
You got your clothes on? We was in the bedroom last week. I think it's good. But initiating physical touch to your partner is going to be really, really crucial. If they're, a lot of times there's so much uncertainty in relationships. You're thinking like, I wonder what they're thinking. Like we don't communicate enough. So when I'm initiating my touch with you, like that's me saying, don't worry about it. I love you. I still think you're sexy. I appreciate you. I want you. All those things.
Whatever. If you're not giving me them draws, you don't love me.
The physical, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about physical touch.
All right, whatever.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, come on. Like that's one thing that if you're gonna be with a man, you have to realize that a lot of guys, that's our way of showing love, showing that we care. And that's our release. When we're angry, when we're upset. Some people may go to like you want to relax, you go take a bubble bath and say you drop your little CBD bath bomb in there.
Shameless plug.
TheNewOrleans.com. But like you do stuff like that, and that's your way. Your music and your wine, you get to relax.
Wine,
yes. Oh, there we go. But for guys, sometimes that release is sex.
No, I get it.
Then
so
if you're dating a man, give up them draws.
That sounds rapey. That sounds rapey.
Really?
But like we said, sex leads into emotional intimacy because that's some of the stuff that we want. Like we want the emotional part. We want to hear your feelings and know what you're thinking, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
So things that we can do to promote the emotional intimacy for you. One is like compliments and praise,
Yes.
words of affirmations. Like, well, what are some of the things tell me some of the things that I tell you that you appreciate when I say it? Did I say anything today?
Actually, you did.
Oh, what did I say?
You did. We were standing in line, and you just was like, I can't remember the exact words, but it was just saying like you love when I'm standing next to you, like it just makes you like all mushy inside or something to that effect. But I can't remember the exact
That sound
words.
Like a sucker line. I ain't say that.
Man,
That sounds like something a sucker would say. I ain't say.
But yeah, it made me feel good. Like it made me feel like I'm your protector. I mean, that's the way I want to be. I want to be a protector. I want to be that person that you could always depend on. And those words that you gave me today was definitely prove that I am that to you.
All right. Okay. So I might be able to get a little bit more intimacy out of you if when I, praise you, compliment you, let you know that I agree with your choices, compliment you on your sex game, all of those things.
Well, I know my sex game is the shit, so oh well. You are a very lucky woman.
Oh my goodness. But then when I say these things to you, it leads you to be,
more confident,
vulnerable.
More definitely, because I feel like now I could say more things or be more open to you about things because I have a little more trust in your feelings. I mean, I trust that what you say is truly how you feel. The actions that you give are truly it's all true. So since it's true, I can let more and more of myself go on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it. But the vulnerability aspect of intimacy, especially for guys, it's funny. Like it's tricky because all your life you were raised like to be strong and to be hard and your manhood. What's the things? All the man code violations and all that kind of stuff. Right. So like you're raised to be non-vulnerable at all times, and then you get in a relationship. Men get in these relationships, and we're like, no, be vulnerable. We need you to be vulnerable. So then, do you think it's hard making the flip from being taught not to be vulnerable to all of a sudden having someone that needs you to be vulnerable?
Well, that's the crazy part because that's tricky. Because that same person that's asking that man to be vulnerable, to open up and talk to them, when they start to do that, that same person, 100% of the time, I ain't gonna say 100% of the times, that person is gonna come back and be like, "You're too whiny."
That is not true. Okay, so
no man act like that.
So you're saying that it's hard, even when you want to be vulnerable, it's hard to be vulnerable because we just want to like stomp it.
Yeah, because you want us to be vulnerable on your time, not when we're ready. It's when you want to deal with it, when it benefits you. And when I say you, I mean the person who's dating the man. Because even some of my friends, when I have conversations with them, and the people that they're married to or dating or going out with, that's how it is. It's like they're open to that man when he is, when they want to hear him talk, they want him to be that vulnerable person. When they don't want to hear him talk, they don't want to hear crap. Oh, for real, I don't care if if he gay, straight, they all go through it. For real.
So you're saying I do that to you?
Hell yeah. Yeah,
I allow you to be like, I want to be your peace and be your safe space and everything. So you don't think I do that for you? Yes. You're the worst. Oh my goodness. No. Okay, so when if you could think of a time, so when is the time that I like wanted you to be vulnerable and then stomped on it?
I
You
can't
can't
think
think
of
of
that.
anything.
Yeah.
But you're saying I do it.
Yes. Yes.
So what can I do? Okay, so give us some hints. People that are dating guys, we want you to be vulnerable. We don't want to step on your toes when you're trying to be vulnerable. So what can we do to allow you to be vulnerable?
I mean, acknowledge, like, take the time and really realize, like, oh snap, this is that time that he's doing what I ask of him, what the trust. So if you see him coming at you, and you might not want to be bothered, it might be that favorite TV show that you're watching, and it's getting very
You
suspenseful.
saying that because of last night. So last night I was watching Greenleaf, and he was trying to have a conversation. I'm like, stop it! I gotta find out why he tried to kill himself. Like, and so you're saying that because he's saying that because the last night I was watching Greenleaf, and I didn't want to talk.
No, but it's not just you. Like, other people do it too. Like, you know, like one of my homeboys was telling me the other day, he was like along the same line. Like, he came home from work. She was sitting there reading a book, and he, you know, spoke, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" And she kind of gave him the cold shoulder, and it's like, "Well, what did I do wrong?" You know, like he was coming home like, you know, sometimes what's the dang. What we talk about when we was talking about Sex in the City, and we were saying that sometimes you need that space, that time when you first come home.
Oh yeah, when her and Aiden, she had the curtain up, and they was right in the same. Yeah, she needed the time.
And then sometimes she doesn't need the time. Well, he came home. She was already home. He came home, and he didn't need that time.
Right.
But it was as if she did.
Right. So maybe we could come up with I didn't know you felt like that. So maybe we can come up with something that like would it be corny if you was like, "Hey, right now I'm trying to be vulnerable," and you like alerted me to it, and I was like, "Okay, let me woosah," and then maybe I'll be
I guess something like that. Yeah. Almost like
because a lot of times the conversation, the communication is off. Like we're not talking enough and asking the right questions, all that kind of stuff. But what were you about to say? I'm sorry.
No. Yes, that'll work. Like, you know, maybe we could do like a little sex light or something. Like, not a sex light, but you know, maybe, I don't know, take a shot glass and put on the nightstand and turn it upside down. So that way, if you see it upside down, you're like, if you see me do this,
that means leave you alone.
Or that
we don't have those shot glasses.
Oh, it's shot glasses in the house.
Is it?
Yeah.
Stop.
I take a shot every now and then.
Okay, so if you're in a relationship, then maybe you know, ask your partner. You know, when you try to be vulnerable, do you feel like I allow you to be in that place?
Yeah, that's the perfect
and have a good conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So that's a good tip to give to people.
Yeah.
Nice. Another thing is that when you're in a relationship with someone as a man, sometimes intimacy can show up in ways that we can't really relate to. Like sometimes you feel like you're being intimate, and I'm like, I totally missed it. Goes over my head.
Yeah.
Like, so what are some of the things that you do that you think that you're showing that you're being intimate with me, but it ain't hitting on nothing.
All right, so I got a pretty old truck, right? So and I'm too cheap to go get the remote control to unlock the door. So I have to put the key in the door, unlock it, and open the door. And sometimes the alarm goes off, and it alerts everybody. It's kind of annoying, but she stops me from opening the door for her. So when you stop me from opening the door, that's me trying to be, like to continue to show my affection towards you and to show something, but you won't allow me to do that because it annoys you that the alarm may go off.
Because it's embarrassing. We could be out in the parking lot. Because you have to make the alarm go off, you have to put the key in ignition and start the car. So if he goes up to the truck, puts the key in the door, opens the door, the alarm goes off, he has to run around to his side, put the key in that door, open up.
I got a fix for that. I already figured it out.
What's the fix?
So I unlock the passenger door, right? I lean over, put the key in the ignition, and then allow you to get in. Boom, close the door.
How about you just get the remote fix?
No, it's $100. I'm not spending $100 on the remote.
But I get it. So this was something that you was trying to do.
Yes, and you shoot me down every single time. That's why we always drive your car, not mine.
And so, how does it make you feel when I do that?
It's annoying as hell. It's stressful. You're taking away my enjoyment of what was it like? Not treating my wife, but
taking care of me.
Yeah, spoiling my wife. I think opening the door and doing that's me. You're taking away my enjoyment to spoil you by showing you that, by opening the door. You take that
Well, now that you're saying that, then now that I know, it still goes back to...
Shout out to Instagram. I see y'all.
It still goes back to communication. So now that I know that that's something that you're doing that I'm really not picking up on the cues, now I know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a lot of things. Even though, I mean, it's times that we may, like, you know, when I look at you, I might overstep and miss something. So, you know, I have to, like, hold on. Maybe she wants to do that for me. Maybe she wants to cook me breakfast. Because sometimes I'm not hungry in the morning, and you like, hey, let me make you breakfast, and I'm like, no, I'm good. And I sometimes see a disappointment, and I'm like, you know what, babe? Hey, yeah, go ahead and make me the egg sandwich, or go, you know, make some bacon and toast or whatever.
I can eat the bacon myself.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see that, like, you're trying to do something, and sometimes I can see disappointment on your face. So I'll give in because honestly, it's just, I'm not feeling it. I just didn't want it. But, you know, that's...
Okay.
That's
what's
that.
The Instagram comment say? We can't see
yeah.
You can't see it?
You got it. Oh, yeah. Said they would shoot it down too about me opening the door. They got to get the alarm fixed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Got to get the alarm fixed. I hear you. But it's $100 for a little remote control. It's $100. Come on.
But another thing is that really helps men be, you know, intimate and something that they need respect. I mean, both people need respect, but something about y'all, it's like the man pride, ego, and because you said it to me the other day, you're gonna respect me, and I was like, I thought I was, when we was having an argument, and you're gonna, and I'm like, I think I am, but you didn't take it like that.
No.
So when you think of respect, like, what does respect mean to you? Like, what are the ways that you need your partner to respect you?
Well, a lot of times from my experience of dealing with an independent woman, like a woman who can pretty much stand on her own, sometimes they and just in conversation, family members, friends, just seeing a lot of you guys or independent people, I should say. Sometimes you guys forget to show that submissive side. You know what I'm saying? Because
people gonna fight you about submission. I mean, so what is being submissive?
No, because not every man wants want their partner their lover to be submissive. Some want their partners to be much more aggressive and much more dominant. But when you find,
think some guys want their partners to be like they want them to be the head of the household and all of that?
Yes, I got a friend. Yes, that's what he wants. 100% clear as day.
He sound like a bum. Is he a bum? He ain't got no job, do he?
He got a job.
It's a bootleg job.
He just prefers that. Like, he's one of those guys that just want to bring home the check, pass it to.
It's like a low ass check.
And then I honestly, no, I could say he probably.
Who is it? Tell me who it is.
No.
I know who it is.
No. But he's that dude. I am not that dude.
You are not. And I work on being submissive.
I mean, but you had told me, you was like, you know, like when it came to some of your past relationships, you said when it comes to going on vacation, I want to be a part of that, the planning and everything. You said that there was, you know what I'm saying, your past relationships that you did it all and they just went along with it.
Mm.
That's, to me, like, by me being a part of it is my way of kind of, you know, like showing appreciation to you, but also want to be around you and engaging and like let's
That
do this
shit's
together.
annoying. Just let me pick the trip out and pick out everything and let's just go. I could be
No, no.
submissive to you in other ways. I think I am submissive to you in a whole lot of other ways. There's other things that, like, I want, like the kitchen. I want to get the kitchen redone. And you're like, look, you're not getting the kitchen. You can get new appliances, but you cannot get the kitchen done. And you was kind of like, that's it, and that's all. And I went along with that.
Yeah.
So I let you have your submissive moment.
I was just busy.
but I think sometimes people confuse submission with like slavery and concubines and stuff like that. Submission to me is like, for me, is me having enough trust in you that you're not gonna, you know, make any bad decisions and put us in harm's way because, you know, you love me. It's the trust that I have in you that makes me be like, okay, you know, I'm gonna follow his lead. But also it means that if I don't agree with you, that you still allow me my space to say something and we can have a conversation. Submission is not the same as what's the thing where someone's like the king over you?
Yeah,
and
subjects.
yeah, it's not this. It's not that.
Yeah, you're not you're not a subject to.
Yeah, it's not just you do this, do that, do this, do that. It's just me trusting that sometimes what direction you want for our household is something that I could just be like, okay, I'm gonna let him, you know, take charge a little bit, but you still take my thoughts and feelings in consideration. That's what really, I think that's the real important part of when, you know, if you're whatever partner, because it doesn't just have to be, it's all different kind of genders.
Yeah, genders. Yeah, it could be any.
It could be anybody, but if you're the person that is going to be the quote unquote head of the household, you still have to have that compromise and negotiation and all that type of thing. It's not my way it goes. So that's why I think it works. I think, and it took time for me to get to that point to trust you, because sometimes even like when we moved and we was picking at houses, it was some things, I wanted that brand new townhouse. Yeah. And you was like, no, look, I don't want to be cash, house poor. I don't want this. And I was like, but I want that 4th floor deck. That joint tight as a mother. I want it. And you was like, no, this is not the direction that I want for our relationship. This is like, you still want to go out to eat and, buy furniture and stuff like that. So this brand new townhouse is not the way to go. And after that same day, wasn't I like, okay.
Yeah, you came back. I mean, once you like thought about it and everything, you came back and was like, you know what, look, okay, boom, let's move on. Let's go after this. And hey, that's what you did. And you found a house that we both agreed upon.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that you find respected in that.
Yes, yes. I did find that you did have respect for me. You understood my point of view. Yes. Clear. It was very clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lastly, so we've been going over tips about intimacy in men, ways that we always want, be more intimate with me, but it's some things that you might need to understand, some things that the tips that I'm giving can help you get that intimacy from your partner. Do you think so far?
Yes, that's that. Basically, we're trying to give a better translation for those of you for those of you who don't understand how men give intimacy. We're trying to point out little things to make sure that you understand, like, oh, that may be what he maybe want to be intimate at that time, or that's his way of showing intimacy. It's not always going to be what you read in the book or romance books, what you see in the magazines or in articles online. Not in the movies or your favorite TV show. You're never going to get that all the time from,
So last tip is about security.
Security.
Yes, y'all like to be. What are you reaching for?
Oh, I thought you wanted me to get that 45 out of security.
No, I mean, but you like to feel secure in a relationship that we're not going nowhere. It's a really a sad thing when people are always threatening their partner in a relationship. I'm gonna leave you, or did it, all this type of things. Security could also be translated into, say you're going out with your friends. Security that I'm not going to call you 1,000 times. Where you at? What you doing? Who you with? Where you going next? All that kind of stuff like that. That all is involves security.
Well, I can tell you, if I say I'm going out with my friends, you ain't never got nothing to worry about. When I was single, we ain't never had no women around. It was always
because none of y'all got no game. Though none of his friends got no game. No. If any of them are watching now, y'all all are hurt. No game happened.
Like you never have to worry about.
It was one Saturday. This was probably like 2 years ago or so. One of your friends called you. What was it, like 2:00 in the morning, and was like, "Let's go to Denny's and get something to eat." Oh, yeah. And you, because were we asleep or we weren't?
You were.
Asleep?
I wasn't. You were.
Okay, you opened and was like, "Hey, I want to go to Denny's with the boys." I was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "You know what? Go ahead, go ahead to Denny's. Bring me back a French toast plate." But that's security. I was secure enough in our relationship to let him go, and I'm sure that made you feel good. So you didn't have to be like, "Hey, y'all, go ahead without me."
Yeah, because we had fun. We had fun. We stayed there from I don't know, it might have been 1 a.m, and we probably hooked up around 2. All of us met there. And I didn't come home till 7 the next morning. We stayed at Denny's the whole time. This is not a paid product placement for Denny's. I just want to put that out there. But we did have fun.
The Denny's on Benner Road.
Yo, we had fun. We definitely had fun.
So to sum up tonight, we don't want to keep you long. To sum up tonight, secrets about intimacy for guys. They respond well to personal touch. They sex leads to intimacy for them. Sex builds on the emotional intimacy. And if you want to pull that emotional intimacy for them, sometimes there's some things that you're going to have to do. Compliments, praises, words of affirmation.
Frank pointed out, he's actually saw in the comments, he said love language too. It's
love languages. Yes, figure out their love language. It does make it easier. Allow them to be vulnerable. You know how sometimes we want them to be, I want to hear all your secrets and your inner thoughts. And then when they say something like, "Man, you sound dumb." So we're not going to do that. We're going to allow, ourselves to be their peace and their safe spot, and a place where they can say all the things they want to say and be comfortable being themselves around us. Like when you get a guy that can be vulnerable with you, you kind of got him. Mm-hmm. Like you got him like that. What else? Respect. Make sure we show respect.
Respect should be in a relationship.
Yeah, respect should be in there. Have conversations, because the way they might be showing intimacy might not be in a way that we receiving it.
Yes.
Some things, and sometimes it's love languages, but it's also them just thinking what they're doing it's romantic, it's all kind of things. You're like,
because we think if we buy you a gift, then we, some guys, if we buy a gift to you, that's our way of showing that, hey, I love you. This is me showing that. Maybe, this is leading up to probably having sex, so I can show you more of why I love you.
I don't want you to buy me nothing so we can have sex, but having conversations. So that was one of my main points, is if you're unsure of if your partner is a guy and you're unsure of, hey, are they doing this to show intimacy? We can talk about it. We can figure out how that we're going to make sure that we're doing these things for each other in a way that we understand. The last tip was about security in a relationship. That comes with trust. That comes with, knowing that the person's going to be there for you, be there with you, all these different things.
Yeah, I don't have to think about that because I do. I do know that like you always got my back. I don't have to think twice about it.
Oh yeah, because you act crazy. That prenup is tight. That get them little clauses in our prenup. But anyway,
Like what?
if you are a guy and you're watching this video, and any of this made sense, and you're like, hey, I need my partner to understand this. Go ahead. You might have took some notes, or maybe show them this video, or just remember a few things. Have these conversations. If you're a person and your partner is a guy, maybe it's a couple of things that we talked about that you're like, you know what? I'm going to try doing some of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try touching him more often. I'm going to try giving him more praises and compliments. I'm going to try to make him know that I respect him and he's secure in this relationship. So all these things. So I hope that you learned something tonight about these damn men and, and intimacy. And we will see you next time. Sign us out, love.
All right. So, but before, one thing from me.
One thing.
When it comes to relationships, we took we had marriage counseling, one of our marriage counseling. And the one thing when someone says, because I said it, in the counsel session, I said, I'm not doing that. So, and the response back from the doctor was, well, why you get married? Why are you in this relationship? You know, so no matter if you don't want to do those things, then you should stay single. You know, and I was like, I don't want to stay single. I want to be with her forever. You know, this is what I want. So obviously you make adjustments. So definitely keep that in mind for both sides. If you're going to be in a relationship, you know, if you find yourself not wanting to do things, just ask yourself, well, do you really want to be in that relationship? And if you want to be in a relationship, you should make adjustments, even if it's looking at dumb chick flick television shows. Goodness. But again, we're all freaks that get on the elevator. Only difference between us is which floor we get off on. If you like us, you get off on every floor just to see what's going on. So stay sexy, my friends, and see you on the next video. Oh, like, subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, make sure you follow us so that way you get to see all of the latest information that comes up. And if you're on Instagram, make sure you follow us as well there so that way you can be able to stay on the latest and greatest and see all of our fun shenanigans.
Shenanigans!
Yeah, good to see all that. So, signing out. Stay sexy, my friends.
Bye!
Peace.